Hello, everybody. Welcome to 321 No Kidding. I am Bobbie the Awesome, and I'm grateful to be here. This is the kickoff to Dry January, and I am here to. This particular episode is going to be about what we're doing to set ourselves up for a successful 2025 and beyond, really. But what we're going to talk about today is applicable every day. There's no calendar that has to dictate our lives. Like we don't have to. We don't have to. We don't have to decide to be healthy because it's January 1st. We just don't. And I encourage you to, oh, look at that. You can see my notes this way. I do a little more free form, but I challenge you to think about just making the decision, whatever that decision is for you. For me, I had to make a decision about gambling addiction and I went to rehab. And even though I had made a decision, I was like, oh, how am I going to make the decision? Like, make it happen. And the universe just delivered me all kinds of stuff. God, if that's your thing. But every obstacle that I put in the way of like deciding to not gamble, like I made the decision. My life is unmanageable. I have to give up gambling. But how am I going to miss 6 to 8 weeks worth of work? How am I going to afford treatment? And treatment turned out to be free. I just had to jump through some hoops. Okay, well, that's out of the way. But now, how am I going to miss 6 to 8 weeks worth of work? Oh, universe is going to send me benefit open enrollment, and they're going to say, you have 6 to 8 weeks short-term disability with your leadership package. Oh, okay, that obstacle's removed. Like I was out of excuses. So it's time because I chose. I chose. The universe delivered all the things. I've never shared that story in that way, but it's so true. So, what I would love to invite you to do is think about what is it that you want? And are you putting yourself first? Are you making the choices? Are you making the decisions that open doors from the universe? I don't know that. Maybe you do know that. Maybe you're good. Maybe you're like, yep, I'm on my trajectory. I got this. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're someone who this is apropos because a lot of people are going to be doing dry January. I have a whole series starting tomorrow about dry January as a resource. Maybe something will resonate with you. Maybe you'll get some ideas about surviving dry January and getting through getting through the 31 days, getting through an hour, getting through a day, whatever you decide. This is the whole point. The point of this conversation. If we do not take care of ourselves, we can't take care of anybody else. And if you're a mom, if you're in a relationship, if you are the model employee, chances are pretty good you put all of those other things and people before you prioritize yourself. When I went back to, I was at a job, moved away, got out of rehab, and went back to the old job. And when I came back, I wasn't the same person. I went to rehab and I wasn't gambling. And my boss, who I had worked with prior, expected the same version of me. And she expected me to work until whenever the job got done and to do all this extra. Well, now I had a clearer mind. I came out of rehab in love, but that's another whole story. But I had a clearer mind and I had the me first energy. And I remember looking at her one night because I could tell she's frustrated, right? Like it's pissing her off that she's working as hard as she does for a company that may or may not care about her. I don't know what people's situations are. She's doing all this effort for them, pissed about not getting like the reward she seeks for it, and then is frustrated by me not doing it. And I looked at her and I said, you know what? If I was still gambling, you wouldn't want me working here. I was so much more productive, helpful, efficient, inspiring, imaginative, creative, all the things once I removed gambling because my brain wasn't tied up with how do I get the next dollar? When can I make the next trip? It was crazy. And I said, listen, you don't want me here if I'm still in that mode. I need to go to my meetings so I could process the stuff, right? Like I've always been black and white. We don't process our stuff at work. I totally forgot to hit record on the other camera. Anyway, so I was not the same person in active addiction as I was when I got out. And if I didn't prioritize my recovery, I might not have got sober. I know I wouldn't have got sober. I wouldn't have the life I live today. I wouldn't be in business for myself. I wouldn't be authentically brave to travel around the country, sleep in my car, try out for Shark Tank, go to Dubai, like all the things. None of that would have happened. None of it. But I had to choose me first. And I'll tell you, it's not a you make the choice and then it's done. It is you make the choice and you continue to make the choice every day over and over again. And there's days that it's harder than others. 100%. I'll give you an example. We were living in a household where, well, I am living in a household where mom has two kids, right? One doesn't choose himself first in a healthy way. He's doing the best he can. So this is not about throwing stones at him. He does what he can, and mom does what she can. So when he chooses, now he'll tell you he tried to help the friend or do the thing or whatever it is. His intentions may be good. He just probably doesn't have enough of the right information. But he'll get himself in situations like in the last, I don't know, couple months, he's been ripped off for $1,000 rent deposit. He's been held up at gunpoint. I mean, like the craziest shit happens. It's not coincidence, in my opinion. It's lifestyle and choices and whatever. So every time things like that happen, well, mom will make the choice to help him or to fix the thing. Now, she does the same thing to me too. She will always put me in front of herself. And I'm not saying that's the right thing because it's not, because in her mind it is. She's like, oh, I'm helping my kids. That means I'm a good human. I get to go to heaven and I'm a mom, and that's what moms do. Sure, I'm inviting you to think there might be a better way or another way instead of just solving the problem, giving the money, doing the thing, in ingesting the stress of the icky situation, whatever all that is. That's what I'm suggesting. I'm not saying, I kid. No, there's different ways. Now they might be uncomfortable, they might challenge you, but I've shared this program to hopefully inspire you, get you to think, heighten your awareness, and challenge yourself. Like what do you want? Why are you here? Are you content? Are you fulfilled? Have you suppressed your dreams? Have you settled?